What's going on, creative people? Hey, you know what? Forget about that. Yo, Phaze Gawd,
Yes, sir.
how you doing?
Doing all right. How you doing today, sir?
Yeah, he's doing all right. As you can see, he's doing all
I'm
right.
trying.
Hey, today's guest is Phaze Gawd. He's a hip hop artist.
Yes, sir.
And creative people, I want you all to stay tuned and listen to what he has for us. It's gonna be a banger. And as
Facts.
always, I am your host, Pyeric. Today's guest again is Phaze Gawd.
Hello.
Phaze Gawd,
Yes, sir.
you've been doing music for quite a long time
For a
now,
while. Yes,
and
sir.
you were born and raised in North Kakalaki.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, born and raised in Charlotte, and he's really good. I checked some of his stuff out, and he's really good.
Thank you. I mean, that means a lot.
And I tell you what, if you don't know him, you are missing out.
You are. It's true.
That's all I'm saying. Anyway, man, just let me know, who are you, man? Tell me.
Well, the long name is Tony P. the Phaze Gawd, but everybody just calls me Phaze Gawd.
Hmm.
Again, like my man Pyric told you, it's born and raised Charlotte, North Carolina.
Hmm.
November baby, so Scorpio gang all day. So for all the people who are into astrology,
Uh-huh.
been doing music for a minute. Dad did music, so my father was always into music. Plays damn near every instrument you could think of.
Wow.
I didn't get any of the musical talent, like when it comes to like instruments, but I've always been a person who enjoyed writing and storytelling. So I like to think that's where it started in the growth of becoming a hip hop artist. So
That's great. Yeah, father played every instrument, but
yeah.
it skipped him.
Yes, unfortunately, I didn't get the greatness when it comes to the instruments. But I make it work.
Still okay. You're still playing a part of the whole music industry.
Absolutely.
That is really good. So, Phase
Yes, sir.
or Tony,
You can call me Face.
Phase,
Phase, yep.
Phase. Tell me, how was your childhood like?
Childhood was cool. Grew up with dad, mom, little brother.
Hmm.
Shouts out to Bino. He also does music and stuff like that. So we're a creative family. It was dope. I've always been into learning about different things.
Hmm.
So I had my nose into different stuff. Whether it be it always was creative. So whether it be different types of art. I was always into anime growing up. So I watch anime coming up. Dragon Ball Z is my shit. So like anybody else. My uncle would bring around, old movies and old DVDs for us to check out that always had something to do with music
Hmm.
or film or, anything that really had a creative basis to it. I was all down for. Not crazy into sports. So instead of doing a lot of sports, not saying that I didn't do sports, I did some sports, but instead of really getting too heavy into sports, I was always into music, learning more about what singles were being played on the radio,
Hmm.
and just living that kind of life, growing into an artist. Mom and dad both worked. Definitely were able to keep us clean, keep us
Hmm.
nice. Dad was working in National Gypsum, so he was doing a bunch of computer stuff. I actually don't know what my dad did growing up. I just know he did stuff with computers. Dad's also a computer whiz. Mom did stuff in the school system, so she was a teacher, substitute teacher. She also did banking for a while, so she was kind of doing different things. But everything was pretty stable.
Hmm.
Grew up, regular kids playing outside, kind of getting into trouble. Regular shit.
Yeah, and as always, I say the package is safe.
There you go.
Nothing happened
Always.
to it.
Absolutely. There
It's
you
still
go.
here. Yeah. So, growing up, tell me, Face, is there something that you would never forget? An event, good or bad?
Good or bad? Oh man. I think one of the hmm. I remember a lot of stuff,
Mm.
but if there's one thing that I really just can't forget, probably really might be my first time really on stage and performing. It was fourth grade back at Collinswood Elementary. They were
Hmm.
throwing this music concert, showing love to the music of the '90s
Hmm.
and late '80s, and they picked me out to do one of the hip hop parts. It was CNC Music Factory, Frida Williams. Now I got the power. Make you sweat,
Hmm.
and I did the verse for it, and it was really dope. Like I practiced it, I trained for it, I made sure I knew the words front and back then, and just really wanted to put on a show because I felt like there was a lot of pressure for me to make sure that people really enjoyed their time when they saw me performing. And the day of the show came, I did my thing. Crowd was in awe, got a lot of love, and then I think that was the moment where I realized, I think I enjoy this music thing. I think I like doing music. I like performing, which is a big deal for me. I really enjoy and love performing. I think that's really, really where it stemmed from, which is being on stage and being seen by everybody.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You like to show off.
See, I was
not that way, but you don't want to be.
Don't judge me for it. I just like to be seen. I like to make an entrance.
Yeah.
Of course.
There's a saying in I'm from Ghana in
Yes, sir.
Ashanti. There's a saying that goes, "Ni show epenhwe."
What does that mean?
What that means is like his show likes looking. It doesn't really translate to it's like you always perform at your best, or you come out when people are there to view you, to watch you. So
I feel
the
that.
show
Absolutely.
likes looking. His show likes looking.
Absolutely.
Ni show
I love that.
penhwe.
Can you say that for me again?
Ni show penhwe.
Nisho Penfre.
Ni show epe nhwe.
See, I'm not
Ni
even gonna
show.
try.
Say again.
Nisho.
Ni show
Nisho.
like show.
Nisho.
Epe
Epe.
nhwe.
Infre.
Inch.
Inf.
Hey,
I've never had to try to whistle to say a word. That's crazy. I enjoy that. What's on?
Wow.
I'm sorry. So, infre.
Inche.
Infre.
Yeah, inche.
Infre. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. That's
Ni
so
show
dope.
penhwe.
No show. Pre. Infre.
Yeah.
Oh, that's close.
Hey.
You don't have to lie to me. I know it's trash. I'm sorry.
Hey, you're not trust. Hey, trust me. It's hard learning some languages sometimes.
I can see that.
But it's pretty easy. Anyway, let's carry on, man.
Yes,
let's
sir.
carry on. This was good. Phaze Gawd.
Yes, sir.
Man, tell me. When and how did you decide to know, did you decide to do music?
When I decided to do music, well, like I just said, performing when when I was doing the performance back in fourth grade, that's when I knew I wanted to perform. I really wanted to get into the arts, especially the performance aspect of it. When I wanted to really get into music for sure, probably was definitely around like the middle school, kind of like the kind of like fifth going into sixth grade. I would say more around like 7 or 8. That's when I really started recording stuff, by myself. My dad had a nice little, it was a little studio that he set up in the house, and he had a little mic and whatever program he was using, and I would somehow finesse a way to put a beat into the program and rap over it. The raps were terrible. The beats were it was never mixed. I didn't understand the idea or the concept of mixing and making stuff sound good. I just understood beat, lyrics, export, song, and that was it. But when I really that's where it really started, and kind of understanding like, hey, I really want to start doing this, consistently, because I would show people these these terrible songs at the time. It's like, hey man, you rap, you're actually pretty good, man. And I was like, oh, well, okay, cool. And then I just from there just really kind of started understanding better how to work the programs, how to record better, breathing techniques, to make sure I'm not running out of breath. Because back in the day, I tried to sound like DMX, and just really kind of like yell and grunt and just be as loud as I can and really like destroy my voice trying to sound like DMX. And from there it just grew, and then I was able to kind of just really start growing into my own and understanding, not just the the production side of it, but also the writing, the lyricism, and just getting better all around with it.
Do you have a copy of the DMS?
You will never hear the DMX song. I luckily that computer was trashed and it got a virus or something for the dumbest reason. But
Lucky you.
Yeah, but no, nobody will ever hear the DMX song. Luckily.
Wow, that would have been excellent.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it would be fun when you play back.
Man, I don't need that kind of struggle.
Yeah. So, Phaze.
Yes, sir.
If I should ask you, who is your source of inspiration or influence?
I take pride in taking inspiration and influences from different means and media. I'm always looking, I stay on Tumblr just looking at, art, whether it be 3D, handwritten, looking at models and how they, wear clothes and stuff like that, fashion people, I take it, bits and pieces here again. Going back to anime, anime has played a pretty big role in my life. Just watching that as a young black kid when everybody else is watching, UPN and all the shows like that. I mean, I watch them sometimes too, but it was never really my bag. I was always into the animes and cartoons and stuff like that, and that's kind of shaped me into the person I am now. And as for people, I'm a big fan. Apart from his recent acts, Kanye West has probably been like one of the biggest people that I really look up and be like, I really would love to be at Kanye West's level. The genius of his music has always been an inspiration for me. Dating back from College Dropout to even his recent Ye tape. There's bits and pieces you can take from all of this. Like, damn, like Kanye West is really kind of like doing something different every time, whether it's good, whether it's bad. He's doing something different and seeing how it works. So yeah, whether it's good, whether it's bad, he's trying something new, and I always appreciate that about him. I used to think it was whack back in the day when I was younger because I didn't understand the idea of trying new things. But as I got older and started to understand like Kanye West and how his mind works and kind of how similar that we kind of think when it comes to trying new stuff, I can really understand like, man, he was so forward thinking. Even now I'm like, man, like he was really ahead of his time back then. Even now he still might be ahead of his time. But Kanye West for sure. Really big fan of Childish Gambino and seeing his rise to fame. When I've been a fan of Childish Gambino way back in like college. So we're talking about 2010, 2011. Before he really got any kind of real notoriety like he is now. But again, same thing. He's been doing music for a long time. He's been really good at it. Also being into acting, writing, producing his own stuff. He doesn't need anybody else to, do what he does. He can work with other people, but at the end of the day, he can do it on his own. And that's always been my biggest thing when I look for people who are doing their stuff is, how much help do they need? How much help did they take? Were they able to do it by themselves, or do they need, an assload of help? So I always appreciate the people that, I won't necessarily say they did it lone wolf, but they were definitely self-sufficient in doing what they were doing and growing.
That's good, self-sufficient.
Absolutely.
So, Phaze.
Yes, sir.
Phaze Gawd.
Yes, sir.
It's me, your God.
Oh, it's a real guy. That's right.
So, Phaze.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you this. What would you say is your source of creativity?
Source of creativity. To be honest, I don't know. Like I said, I get, I draw inspiration from different things, but when it comes to like sitting down and being creative, it's random. Sometimes I often find myself, I'll be at work sometimes and I'll just have the inspiration to just write something. I'll think of some rap lines, I'll think of something really cool, and I'll try to type the idea down on my phone while I have time, make sure I don't get caught. But and then sometimes I'll just lay in bed and all of a sudden I think of something like, yo, that's a dope line, or that's a dope idea. So, it always hits randomly. So I'm honestly not sure. I think it's just, living, breathing, existing. And, I think it goes for everybody. We all have that spurt of just, creativity. And then it's just like, who takes that time to like act on it? It's like, write it down, put it on paper, put that idea, make it into a physical form, and then create it from there. So, I don't know. It was random. I know that probably didn't answer your question.
No,
I'm sorry.
It does. It's your answer.
I appreciate it.
It's your way of life. It's your way of doing your stuff.
Yes,
and
sir.
that is what we are looking forward to hear.
Absolutely.
Not, I have no clue what you're supposed to say. Hey, so I'm live. No. Tell me what you want to tell. Tell me how you feel.
I got you.
So, Phaze, let me ask you. Before I ask you about what you do day in, day out to see progress, let me ask you this. What do you got going on now? Like, what are you doing now? Like,
as of right now, I'm having my hand in a little bit of everything right now. Working on a new project, working on a new single that I'm looking to drop soon. Guess I'm Gucci,
Hmm.
which I'm really looking forward to dropping that and pushing that. That's gonna be a that's gonna be a dope song. Working on a new project. Produced solely by my producer, best friend, and DJ, a man with antlers. Shouts out to him, Amwar. Um, Fully produced by him. He's actually done that. We've done that with two projects so far: the Oh Dear God EP and the Dark Dreams EP we just released earlier this year,
Hmm.
which has garnered us a good amount of attention.
Hmm.
So I'm definitely looking forward to continue working with Antler. Me and him have so much more music coming out. Like working with Antler is insane because again we're the same person. So we have the same ideas at the same time, and he wants to get it done just like I want to get it done. So that's kind of what I need when it comes to progressing and moving forward. Um, but right now we got new music on the way. I got a show coming up this Saturday actually at Snug Harbor. It's the first time we're performing at Snug Harbor, so I'm excited for that.
Hmm.
And one of the bigger endeavors that I'm working on right now is I throw a series of shows called Bars, Bands, and Brews, and what that is a hip hop and rock fusion show. So I get hip hop artists and rock bands to come together on the same stage and
Hmm.
perform at local breweries here
Hmm.
in Charlotte, and we've actually made a home for it at Unknown Brewing over there at South End, and I'm looking for this next one to be the biggest one that we've thrown so far. Got a
Hmm.
pretty nice. I'm working on the the talent now, but I've already secured the headliner for it. So just working on filling in the other pieces and getting it all put together. But that's looking to be in October. October 27th is when I'm looking to throw that, and that's probably going to be one of the biggest shows that I've planned to throw since I've been throwing my own shows.
Yeah,
But as of right now, that's it for
that's
right
it.
now.
So, creative people, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to this next year, 2019 or 2020, I would encourage you to check the description, click on his IG
Please.
link, or look him up and see where he's up to or what he's up to. That'll be amazing. So, let me ask you, day in, day out, Phaze,
Yes, sir.
what do you do to see progress?
What do I do to see progress? I just try to stay on my ass and everybody else's ass. I just really try to get something done. Whether again that be writing a verse,
Mm-hmm.
listening to beats, trying to be creative, trying to create something, turn an idea into a physical form.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for example, getting these shows done, staying on people and saying, "Hey, can you be on the show? You want to do a show? What do you want to do?" Talking to venues, setting up events, being really communicative with anybody who I can be to push to push it forward,
Mm-hmm.
because that's really what I'm all about is progress. Like I'm here now, how do I get further next? And sometimes it's as little as writing a verse, it's as little as sending somebody a message, it's as little as, or it could be as major as doing a podcast, with creativity as an idea. Like this is awesome. Like I love doing this. I love doing podcasts and talking with people and, expanding the brand, meeting people like you,
Mm-hmm.
and just, finding a way how me and you could probably do some more stuff in the future, and I would love to do that.
I'm a rapper.
Oh, see, you know what? I need that. I need more. I need more Ghanese on my track. You can do the whole unfoot. You can do that for me on the track. So yeah, just doing stuff like that, being communicative, and just really staying vigilant and trying to get things done.
Being communicative and staying vigilant.
Yes, sir.
And he's always on someone else's ass to get things done.
You gotta be. Have to be. 'Cause
Yeah.
you let up, they will never do what you ask them to. So definitely stay on their ass.
People. Some people.
Some people.
Wow. So there's this Newton's law, and I think at this point I'm not going to read the law verbatim. I'm just going to paraphrase as always. Let me paraphrase.
Please.
It says it's a Newton's law, and it says in order for something to go up, it has to let certain things down.
Absolutely.
So what did you have to leave behind to see progress?
Man, that's actually a really good question. I had to leave behind the idea that I can help everybody.
Mm.
And my whole thing is I see potential in I see potential in everybody and everything that they do. Again, especially if they're creative, like I see what they're doing. I'm like, yo, that's awesome. How can I help you take it to the next level? Like, how can I help you take it to the next level? And how can you help me take what I'm doing to the next level? I'm always about, let's work together to help each other grow.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's always what I want to do. But sometimes that's not what people want to do for themselves.
Mm.
And then you end up doing stuff for people, and they don't really reciprocate. And it's not always, sometimes it's not always meant to be reciprocated. It doesn't always have to be.
Mm-hmm.
But when you start realizing that you're doing a lot of stuff for somebody and they're not even doing it on their own, and they're not even putting as much effort for themselves as you are for them, it kind of really you start realizing, like, man, like, I'm putting a lot of time, a lot of attention to help you, and you're not even helping yourself do it.
Mm-hmm.
And after a while, I don't want to be selfish,
Mm-hmm.
because I'll help anybody, with anything if they ask me to. But at the same time, I got my own stuff that I'm working on, and if it's at the end of the day, if it's hindering me from doing what I do to get better and push my stuff, then I'm gonna choose my stuff before you, to be honest. And and that's just being honest. So kind of understanding that I'm here to help, but I'm really not gonna go out of my way unless somebody really wants it in there, and I see the vision and I see, okay, well, they really want to do it, I'm gonna help them. I kind of had to fall back myself and just really focus on myself. And
Yeah.
that comes with that.
Just to say this proverb, you can walk a horse to the river, but you can't force it to drink.
Cannot.
And there's a saying, you drink like a horse, meaning the horse can really drink water when it wants to.
Ooh, I never heard that part of the saying. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, it's like you do something like a horse, you drink like a horse.
Of course,
like
absolutely.
The horse can drink water. So someone desires it.
Mhm.
If they really want it, they will drink like a horse.
Absolutely.
However, you can walk the horse to the riverside, and the horse,
Well,
you can't force it.
That's
It'll have to
interesting.
develop desire. Okay, this time I think I'll drink. I'm
That's-
testy.
That's so awesome. I
So-
never knew that second part to it. So that's really dope.
Yeah, it's just sort of not. It's sort of a sarcastic saying when someone is doing something. Oh,
For sure.
hey, you drink like a horse.
You drinking everything, taking everything.
Yeah.
I got you. That's
Drink
so
a
dope.
beer or wine, alcohol like a horse.
Man, look, you ain't said nothing but a word. I was probably talking about me at that point.
Wow. So, Phaze,
Yes, sir.
let me ask you this.
Please.
Now, right, looking at the music industry,
Mhm.
what are your views?
On the music industry as a whole,
Yeah, your views as a whole, yeah.
it's weird. The
Mm.
music industry, I think, when we were growing up, it was a lot harder for people to really. You had to had a certain je ne sais quoi. You had to have that. You had to have your talents. You had to have that look. You had to have everything, and then you had to know the right people to get it done. You had to really work to make something of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And now in this day and age, everything is so instant, like everything, and it's a double-edged sword. Like, it's great that back in the day, if you didn't put like hundreds of thousands of dollars, into music, into equipment and stuff, you couldn't do any music like that. Or you had to spend, hundreds of dollars being in like legitimate studios. But now somebody can spend, a couple $100 on a laptop, on a microphone, set up their own little studio. They don't even have to buy the programs.
Mm-hmm.
You can finesse it properly. You can, get a cracked version of whatever you want, and you have a full-fledged studio.
Mm-hmm.
All you have to do is to study how to mix and master. You do that by yourself, and boom, you're a recording artist.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not just a recording artist. You're a recording artist who's garnering attention. And that's the difference I don't think anybody really understands. It's like, yes, anybody can rap, but like a lot of these guys are picking up something, in a week,
Mm-hmm.
and garnering thousands of plays, thousands of views, and it's crazy because I feel like we never saw that stuff growing up. We had to, people had to really have press rollouts. You had to have meetings about who the next hot artist is, and you really had to work your way. And then all of a sudden, nowadays, you just boom, little somebody is the face of music for right now, and then he or she has their run, and something happens, and they just kind of float off. So the industry as a whole is different. It's changing. I won't say if it's for better or for worse because that's always subjective. Because I like a lot of the music that's coming out now. A lot of people shit on the littles, the little Zans and little Peeps and all the littles you can think about. But a lot of these guys really are talented in their own right. And if you're stuck in that mind state, you won't get it. If you're stuck in the olden days, again, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's always about progress and looking at the next thing. It's not for everybody, but back in the day, your favorite rapper probably wasn't for everybody back then too. So the industry is different, and it's always changing. And I think it's really who can master the media that it's in now. Like who can right now is in the internet phase. Who can master the internet? I think Tekashi 6ix9ine is the perfect person because he's mastered the internet. For whatever reason, if you like him or not, he has mastered it to a T. 8 songs on the Billboard Hot 100, like topping the billboards. Award winning at this point. His stuff is going gold, platinum, doing major numbers, and and he's finessed the internet to where you want to know, even if you don't like him, you're gonna see him because you don't have a choice. And everybody's like, oh, I hate 6ix9ine, I hate 6ix9ine, I hate, like, yeah, but you're still talking about him, and that's the key. If you want something to die, you ignore it. You don't talk about it. But as long as somebody will share that link with 6ix9ine's face on it, as long as you share his name on it, and this goes for anybody, but as long as you're sharing that name, you're our free promotion for that person. So you are being finessed as an ad now. So it's crazy. Like, it's just crazy. That's how it is now.
A walking billboard.
There you go. Exactly.
Wow, that's good. So we are about to gossip.
Oh, I'm always down for that shit.
At this point, it's a private conversation, guys. So if you are listening, you can choose not to, because if you do, you are eavesdropping. Anyway, so tell me, we are going to talk about public issues, celebrity, global issues, personal thing, someone you want to compliment, things you want to vent at, things you want to like whine about, things you want to criticize, things you want to say, what the fuck is this?
Absolutely.
Let it flow, man.
Let it flow.
The floor is yours.
You want me to start?
Oh.
Man. Like, you put me on the floor like that.
Let it go.
Let it go. Man.
Across my leg. I'm listening.
Boy, let me tell you something.
Let's gossip.
Well, shit. I think we could talk about the scene in the city. The Charlotte music scene. It's getting to the point where I think it possibly might be plateauing when it comes to what's happening in the city. It's really strange. The past couple years, everything was popping off. Everything was new. People are doing their music. People are doing their events. Everything is dope. But now, all of a sudden, I really feel like the city's starting to plateau with what's happening. Everything just kind of seems to. There's no innovation now. That doesn't go for everybody. There's still a couple things here and there that's like, oh, okay, that's different, but it's still at the core the same thing. And it's not there's nothing wrong with it. If it's one of those, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But Charlotte, I really feel like, is also why I feel like we're plateauing. We're also at the cusp of breaking, and I really feel like people, when it comes to music, people say, oh well, Charlotte isn't a major market. And, it's understandable. We don't have anything that really stands out in the city to where people should care about the opinion of Charlotte, North Carolina. But I really feel like there's no reason why people shouldn't hear our opinion, because we are the melting pot. We are basically the world in Charlotte. Like, we are a mixed melting pot of people.
Mm-hmm.
People from different walks of life, people from different like parts of the country, of the world, are in Charlotte. We're damn near close to Los Angeles, to a New York, to Atlanta, with how diverse we are.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no reason why people shouldn't want to know, hey, what's Charlotte doing? What's Charlotte think of this certain stuff? Because we're so close, with us just being 4 hours from Atlanta. We're not crazy far from New York. Was it like a 16-hour drive to New York? I've never driven to New York, but it's not crazy far from New York. I mean, it's nothing but a plane ride over to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, there's no real reason why we can't be a major market. And I say that to say we just need a person to bust out to break that. We're like right here to busting out and really having all the eyes on Charlotte, North Carolina. But I feel like as of right now, there is a plateau happening. A lot of these hip hop artists,
Mm-hmm.
I think are as dope as they are, they're not pushing themselves to the fullest potential. Of course, the biggest thing is the egos in Charlotte. Everybody's like, oh, all we need to do is just rally together and link up, and we win and support everybody. But at the end of the day, they don't support their people.
Yeah.
Too many times have I gone to a show, and these artists, they come and they perform and leave. And they don't stay. They stayed to see the first couple of people if they weren't first themselves, and then they leave. They don't stay to see the last person, And I think that really shows you where people's heads are at when it comes to this whole support for support thing. And again, it's not a problem, but you can't cry out, "Oh, nobody supports me," and you're not supporting other people. Like, that's like the biggest paradox. You want support but don't support.
Mm-hmm.
Until you're not gonna. I feel like you're not really gonna break out like that. Not supporting the people who support you. And it doesn't have to be a crazy, going to every single show,
Mm-hmm.
but sharing, showing love. Like, I always see this meme going around, like, it's free to hit that share button. It's free to listen. Matter of fact, you're paying the person to listen. If you don't want to pay for that album, stream the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's money to an artist. And I don't think a lot of people understand. I don't think a lot of people in this city understand that. And it could be really nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
As an artist, I pride myself on being supportive and, trying to support the people who I feel are, really earned it, deserve it, really have something going on. And, I support the talent. I want to see people win, but I see a lot of people who don't reciprocate that,
Yeah.
who don't show that same exact love back. And it doesn't have to be same exact, but, show something. Do something. A lot of people don't even do anything. They just do their thing and leave.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the biggest drawbacks.
It's the biggest drawback.
Absolutely.
And I'm about to say something, and I may be wrong.
Oh,
But who cares? Hey, so I was thinking, maybe people are doing really good music. In Charlotte, people are doing really good
absolutely.
music. However, the marketing is probably the
Yes.
issue. Because
Absolutely.
the marketing is probably the issue. And now, yeah, the marketing is probably the issue.
Can I build on that with you?
Oh, flow. Build to the
Marketing,
top.
100% is why a lot of this stuff doesn't pop like it should. Promotion is a lot. Is a major reason why a lot of these shows don't. A lot of these shows for our level of artistry don't blow up. It's because a lot of these guys they stop at making a flyer and putting it on Instagram, and then they might make a Facebook event page, and they've only made the Facebook event page maybe like a week, 2 weeks before the actual event, which it's cool, but then it's like you could have did this earlier, had 3 to 4 weeks to almost a couple months
Yeah.
before it, and then really hone in on how to get as many people to come to your shows, to listen to your music, to do anything that you want them to do. You've missed all this time just kind of half-assing it or being really lazy about it, and that always bothers me because I like to think I'm pretty big on promotion. You know, if I'm doing something, you know that I'm doing something. If you don't know that I'm doing something, then you are not. You are skipping. You're missing because I'm always talking about the new music, always talking about the shows I have coming up. I'm like really out here trying to have you, the people, see what I have going on because I want you there. And a lot of people just don't have that. And I don't know if that is more of the difference between thinking like an artist and thinking like a businessman or a business person, because that's what I always try to look at things from a business perspective. And I think that's kind of the difference between a lot of people here in Charlotte and some other artists. You know, you have to look at music like a business. I feel like if you really wanted to be successful in the long game,
Yeah.
you kind of have to at least have a basic understanding of how to do things to make sure that what you do is a success. You know, if you want to be the guy or girl that's like, oh, I just do it for the love, I do it for the art, I respect that, and I love people who do that. And if they are lucky enough and talented enough to be able to create a career off of doing that and not having the business sense to do it, that's an amazing feat. And I tip my hat to anybody who does that. But most of the time, it's a formula. It's a formula. You follow a formula, and you will find success. Of course, you have to make sure you have the talent, but you will find success doing it if you follow a formula of just simple marketing promotion to get your shit out there. If you can't get your shit out there, how are people going to see it? How are they going to look at it? How are they going to know?
This is where I think the universe comes in. He picks your stuff, and when someone is sleeping, it shows it to them. Hey, this is some guy doing music, but he's not marketing it.
There you go.
Hey.
and that's it. Like I think that's and it happens. People, you know, it's always a lucky thing. Somebody, you roll over, your music just so happens to get, you know, listened to by that one executive or that one person who takes it to an executive. Man, look, I wish it worked like that for everybody. I hope and pray that it happens for me. You know, one of my songs just happens to get in the hands of somebody, and they're like, hey, president of this big, you know, record label, sign this guy in a not 360 deal for millions of dollars. You know, like that would be amazing. But at the end of the day, that's a rarity. That's rare. Like that does not happen to there are hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of people who are doing music, making music, some serious, some not, some parody people that don't even give a fuck about music. They just doing something to do it. But every single person who is making something, creating something, you have to, I don't want to say you look at them competition, but you have to look at them as somebody that could take the ear from someone like you, you know? And you just really want to give yourself that edge. And I think having that business mind and having that business perspective is always going to keep you a step ahead of somebody. Because while an artist is just focused on creating the music, not only are you creating the music, but you're also finding out how to monetize that music, how to get that in the hands of people who can monetize that music, how to make that art make money for you in the most seamless way possible, and you get the most money out of it.
Yeah. So we're about to finish our gossiping, but let me say something real quick.
Yes, sir.
Just to draw reference from the movie industry, the Hollywood movie industry, or all those top, quote unquote, top musicians out there, or any program or event that ends up being successful, I would encourage anybody who is doing music, if they have a project coming up, they should get the basic branding, the basic things done.
Absolutely.
So that it will be a frame, or they will have something to present, they will have something to keep screaming at people with.
Absolutely.
For like 3 months ahead.
Absolutely.
So I have a project coming up. This is it. This is how it's going to be. Or just to pique people's interest. And because when you look at the movie, right, movie industry, wait for July 2019.
Exactly.
Like, oh my gosh, really?
Exactly.
I can't wait oh, when is this gonna come? When is this gonna come? Then you get to see it. Wow. Then that day, box office, boom.
Boom. Absolutely.
Oh, he's dropping a project. Scott.
Hmm.
He's dropping a project. He's dropping a project. August. Oh, push forward. You keep listening.
Absolutely.
You keep anticipating for what he's about to drop. It's gonna be dope. Then it comes out. It may not be all that cool, but since he or she has piqued your interest,
Absolutely.
you want to listen to it, and then it goes from there.
Absolutely.
Because they've rallied the fans from like 2 months ago,
Absolutely.
and they've built everything up to meet that day. So I would encourage any artist or every artist out there who is starting or still in the music industry to really take closer look at launching, product launching, not a
Yes.
month, at least 2 months in advance or 3 months in advance, or the project in
Absolutely.
advance. If anything changes, they still know you have a project coming up.
That's
So
it.
the content of the project doesn't really matter, but the whole theme
Absolutely.
matters, so that you can keep telling people, oh, this is the theme, this is what it's going to be, or something. Hey, it's up to you to decipher what I'm saying.
Beautiful.
Well, so phase. At this phase,
It is Phaze. Yes,
at
sir.
this phase, what we are going to talk about is, tell me what you wish you knew when you were starting.
What did I wish I knew when I was starting? I wish. I won't say. I might kind of twist what you
Hey.
say, but I like to think it's in the same vein. I wish I kind of had the idea to do a lot more stuff myself early on. I wish I had more of a knowledge of the local scene coming up, because again, I was really kind of doing music again, like kind of during high school. Like that's when I was really kind of telling people, "Oh, I'm a rapper. I'm doing music. I'm kind of putting stuff out and stuff like that." You know, I wish I had a better idea of how to go out performing, places that I could perform at, more open mics. I had more knowledge of the open mics around the city. Had the idea to kind of utilize a lot of people don't understand. I think high school and like when you're in school, you're automatically around a lot of people. You automatically can talk to these people and touch them, tell them what you want to do, what you got going on. Like I wish I would have been able to utilize that more, just being around so many people and kind of show them more of my music, and then I had a better idea of how to make more quality music, you know, back then as well. And because if I knew what I know now back then, I think I'd be a lot further than I'd be just off of quality. Probably also saving. Randomly enough, the more idea of saving and making money, saving money, and then utilizing that money better. I'm not saying I've blown any kind of money, but you know, just understanding that money plays a big role in anything that you do. You always want to make sure that you have a fat stash of it somewhere to use. But yeah, if I had the knowledge that I have now back then, I think I'd be in a tad bit better spot. Be a little bit more out there than I am now. But you know, you live and you learn, and you just kind of pass that knowledge off to the next person that you feel is worthy of it.
That sounds good. That
Absolutely.
sounds good. So, creative people, that was Phaze Gawd. And at this point, before we end this episode, right, he's about to do some tippy tiny rap. He's
Ooh.
going to just sing something. So stay tuned and listen to what he has to say. And as always, it's your show. Creativity is an idea. Stay tuned. Let it flow.
Let's do it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, creative people, he is about to do something. You know, so stay tuned and Phaze Gawd, let it flow, man.
Let's do it. Unreleased shit called Mountains. I don't know when I'm gonna release this. Maybe soon. Yeah. Yeah. Gotta let it build up. Okay. Look, got my sights on the sideline. Heard she was cheating with a Citron, with a scandal. And my mood is so micron, string of a bolo like a python. Damn, nobody home but the lights on. That's a simple misdirection. Monks in my temple for the misconception. I just need a clear mind during this reflection. Like, steady chanting hitters, heavy panting, and they getting Nancy, but they keep advancing. No, they think they fancy, but I'm just a nigga. Watercolors that consist of liquor. And I just keep drinking, right? Hey, yeah. Close your eyes and get to counting. This that outer body experience of my disposition is drowning. And I give a damn what they spouting, cause I can't hear when my head is clear and I'm meditating on mountains like live for the day, pray for the week. If we ain't talking about progression, we don't need a meet. No, live for the day, pray for the week. Yeah. If we ain't talking about progression, we don't need a Pyeric. Pray God forgive this unholy sickness. Yeah, this life is twisted, but I think he gets it. See this motor mouth, mumble metaphysics, though it seem intrinsic, but that's just the gist. It's eating me alive from the inside. Seeing every lie from my friends. I don't even rely on my friends. Why? Born alone, die alone. When the music hits, I can cry a song. Kids moving keys like a xylophone. With the sins of men, only ayatone. Niggas dying over all they pride and hope. Like they ain't see the signs and the jokes while they smoking vision turn kaleidoscope. Eventually, all this entropy made an entity, added energy that offended almost all my enemies. Destroy everything that they send to me. Damn it must be the Hennessy. Ignoring all the inebriation. Can't mix brown and white, keep the segregation. That's a cup of Jim Crow for the celebration. Drinks up when the gang is plotting. She turning up when the strangers watching. So much cuter when she ain't talking. Wanna suck my hoes, call it brainwashing. I'm insane, stop it, say my name, drop it. See a cop, dodge it before he start popping. Heard the feds stalking, probably watching now. Better use caution, got no option, bow. Yeah. Close your eyes and get to counting. This that outer body experience with my disposition is drowning. Yeah. And I give a damn what they spouting, cause I can't hear when my head is clear and I'm meditating on mountains like live for the day, pray for the week. If we ain't talking about progression, we don't need to speak. Live for the day, pray on the week. If we ain't talking about progression, we don't need to meet. That's that new shit.
All right, creative people. I believe you heard what he just sung
Already. Hope y'all liked it.
Hey, I did like it.
You enjoyed
I
it?
can't wait to listen to it. Hey, if you're watching, you can see I'm trying to stretch to see how the thing is recording, man. I can't wait to listen to it. It was amazing, man.
Thank you so much. I
It was
appreciate
amazing.
it.
Pray for the or on the week.
Pray for the week.
Uh-huh.
Pray on the week.
Pray on the week.
Hey, we gotta make that decision. It's all up to you.
That sounds good. Is it still playing or is it over?
It should be over, but
Yeah,
it might
I
be
was
a little
about to
loud.
rap. But it's
Oh, no,
okay. It's
I was
over,
saying,
so-
I need
Hey.
a verse from you still, so we're gonna
Hey,
work on it. We're gonna make it
hey,
happen.
Hey, I can put in some 16 bars now. I
Hey.
mean, 16 bars.
Hey, I need that. I think we need that for the culture, for the creative culture.
Yeah, that sounds good. So that was Phaze Gawd. It was amazing, man.
Thanks
So
so much.
tell me, man.
Yes, sir.
Well, actually, I know you, but those who are listening or watching, they may not know you.
Yes, sir.
So how can they find you?
Okay, look. The easiest way,
Mhm.
I say this every time, and it really is just the easiest way. But if you Google my name, it will find everything you need to know. It's Phaze Gawd. I spell it ignorant, so people will have to really understand and get it.
Mhm.
So when you type it all in, so again, it's Phaze Gawd, Phaze Gawd. You can find me on Instagram, Phaze Gawd 704. Twitter, Phaze Gawd. You can find me on Facebook, YouTube, all that stuff, man. So I'm really out here. I'm really everywhere. So just look it up. You'll see.
That's good. Hey, if you're listening, I think what was his name? Savage, the Bud the rapper.
BUD.
BUD.
Shouts out BUD, man.
Yeah, he said something that or any artist out there who is sort of really up, which we perceive up, they weren't up.
Absolutely.
It all started somewhere.
Absolutely.
It was all an idea,
Exactly.
So once you're here, you keep going. You're being progressive. You're getting on people's ass to do stuff.
There you
So
go.
you're getting there, and
Thank
I
you.
really like that.
I appreciate
You're a
that.
doer. So as always, man, it's a pleasure. Thanks for
Yo,
being.
thank
a
you so much,
special
Pyeric. I
guest today.
appreciate you.
It was a banger, man. I
Oh,
can't wait
you
to
too
listen to it
kind.
myself. Hey, man. So, creative people, this is Creativity is an Idea podcast, and I was your host, Pyeric, and today's guest was
Phaze Gawd. Y'all ready?
Phaze Gawd.
Eee.
What's happening, homie? Yeah,
Cool.
and as always, please don't fuck up. But if
Well,
you do fuck up, make sure you fuck up real good to help others. Stay blessed.
what's up?
I'm the God is here.
Already.
Wow.